Fans of the Horus Heresy, welcome to today's video. So we just finished seeing previews for today's Warhammer Fest, which was all about their quote-unquote boxed games. I was sort of hoping that we would get to see some previews for the rumored Horus Heresy 2.0 today, because I'm not entirely sure whether or not it's classified as a boxed game. However, that didn't happen. We saw previews for a couple of their other games, including Necromunda, Aeronautica, Underworld, I think, if I remember correctly. And so what that leaves for this Warhammer Fest preview is Saturday, which is when they have a mystery reveal planned for their stream. Now, I've seen a lot of people speculating that this release might be Age of Sigmar 3rd edition. I've seen a couple of hopeful people, myself included, sort of wish listing for I'm not even sure how to put it, for an expanded Horus Heresy reveal, possibly with more plastic kits, slightly updated rules. I don't remember what else was rumored in this latest round of Horus Heresy rumors, but that's kind of what I think a lot of people, or what at least a lot of Horus Heresy fans are hoping for on Saturday's reveal instead of Age of Sigmar 3. And so today I wanted to talk a little tiny bit about this. We are currently like 2 minutes into the video. I might be going all over the place here in a little bit. I apologize if a little bit of negativity sneaks into this video. I usually try to be fairly positive about the games I play. And if I do have criticisms, I try to have them be valid criticisms. And so today I wanted to talk a little bit about the way that Forge World has been communicating with the Horus Heresy fan base, which is to say, not much at all. While we have gotten a slow trickle of releases for Horus Heresy over the last year and a half or so, including a new Black Book and a couple of new units and tanks and some new miniatures. I'm thinking specifically here of the various Dark Angel releases. There was a long period of silence between last year's, I think the last Horus Heresy update was roughly in November, and this year's news, quote unquote news, a lot of which so far has been basically short blurb articles that long previewed releases are now available for pre-order. We did recently see a Horus Heresy Dispatch article on the Warhammer community website showing off a new miniature for Malagurst the Twisted, who is a Sons of Horus character, and promising a continuation of these articles in the future. I'm speculating that we'll probably see one hopefully every 3 to 4 weeks. It could be longer between articles, I'm not entirely sure, but my hope is that it's 3 to 4 weeks, and that we start to see a steady increase in Horus Heresy releases. Whether that be more resin miniatures, whether that be more plastic kits, and so on and so forth. I think that a lot of my personal dissatisfaction comes from not knowing what's going on. Last I heard, the design team that's responsible for Horus Heresy was down to just one designer, after Anuj left for creative assembly to work on unspecified projects. I've heard from various places that quote unquote big things are coming and quote unquote great things are coming, and that quote unquote the future of the heresy looks bright, which is great. But at the same point in time, I'd very much love to see concrete news and information. Even if it's as vague as an article on the Warhammer community site telling us there are several releases planned for Horus Heresy this year. The release schedule is a little bit uncertain, but we have at least, I don't know, say 2 plastic kits planned and several resin releases for various legions. That's basically all I'm asking for, is some sort of confirmation that Forge World is still actively working on the game, that they won't be dumping it at any moment without warning, and that we as a community have something to look forward to. And again, I try to be fairly constructive in my criticism and not sound like I'm whining about the lack of releases for what essentially is a luxury hobby. But I really do feel like Forge World could communicate just a little bit better with their community. I know a lot of people love the game. I personally tried to get a fairly strong Horus Heresy community going and managed to do a game day at my local game store at least once a month for almost 2 years, if not a little bit longer, where each month we had anywhere between, I want to say, 3 to 8 people, sometimes as many as 10 people come in to play Horus Heresy. So I know that there are still potential players out there. But it's a little bit hard, especially now, when there aren't any easy ways to get into the game. And I'm going to talk about that for just a couple minutes here. What I think... So Betrayal at Calth and Prospero Burns were 2 board games that were packaged up with a great value of plastic kits intended for Horus Heresy. Various Mark IV and Mark III Space Marines, Cataphracti and Tartaros Terminators. And both these box sets, if I remember correctly, were priced around $150 and gave you an incredible value on what you were getting when you purchased the boxed set. Those are both now long out of print, and the only way to get a lot of the current Horus Heresy plastic kits is direct only, which means the only way to actually get them is through Games Workshop's website, which I think creates an unnecessary barrier to potential new players. And there's also no savings involved whatsoever. So it becomes kind of an expensive endeavor to build a Heresy army in the first place. The rulebooks also kind of get expensive, especially if you want to play one of the legions that is currently only available via Black Book, like Dark Angels, Space Wolves, if I remember correctly, Blood Angels, White Scars. All of these, their rules are only in the $130 Black Books, which gets expensive when you add in the $60 Age of Darkness army list, the $60 Age of Darkness main rulebook, and so you can see how all of these costs quickly add up to a really expensive army of Space Marines. What I really feel like would benefit Horus Heresy a lot and allow a lot of new players to start the game is some sort of starter set, whether that be a new Betrayal at Calth style boxed set with a lot of inbuilt savings, or the equivalent of a Warhammer 40k Start Collecting or Combat Patrol box, which are generally, if I remember right, priced between $100 to $130, but you get a decent number of miniatures in each box. For Horus Heresy, for example, a box like this could include 20 tactical marines, which you can build as either one 20-man unit or split it into two smaller units of either tactical marines or veteran space marines. Some sort of vehicle, maybe a Deimos Predator or a Deimos Rhino, which would allow you to transport some of the, if you decide to split your unit of tactical marines into 2 units of 10, you'd immediately have a transport available for those. Other potential things that you could add into a box set are multi-part characters. For example, a Praetor kit that would allow you to equip him with various different weapon options. Possibly assault squads with, in plastic, of course, with plastic jump packs. What else is there? Plastic breachers. I know that breachers are incredibly popular because they look really cool on the table, and so a plastic breacher squad would work. What I'm saying is that I think Horus Heresy could be in a really good place if Forge World and Games Workshop either released starter sets to make it easier to get into the game, or additionally possibly released a couple more plastic sets of armor. Mark II, I think, should be possible in plastic, and that was very popular. At least I think it was popular. It's been off of the website for a while now, a couple of years at least. But there are several legions that still use that mark of armor almost exclusively, and so I think seeing it in plastic would be really cool. Plastic assault marines would be invaluable, because right now the only way to make assault marines is through buying resin upgrade kits, or scrounging close combat arms from various plastic kits, which you don't get a lot of per kit, obviously. And so, yeah, I guess in the end what I'm trying to say is that there's a lot of potential in this game system, but the company itself, I think, needs to step up and create more entryways and more options for said game system. I'm going to continue to be hopeful that we'll see more new releases over the course of this year and possibly next year. Today I'm feeling a little bit disheartened because I feel at least somewhat confident that Saturday's reveal is going to be Age of Sigmar 3rd edition versus any sort of new Heresy content. But you never know. And Saturday's still 2 days away, so we'll find out. In the meantime, let me know your thoughts and comments on potential Horus Heresy stuff that you'd like to see, whether in plastic or in resin. Let me know whether you like the game. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, do all the fun algorithm stuff that helps small YouTube channels like mine. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.